What if I told you that the heavy feeling you wake up with every morning isn't actually a sign of getting older? You know that sensation where your stomach feels full and sluggish before you've even had breakfast, and by noon you still can't seem to shake it? Most people over 60 just accept this as a normal part of aging, but the truth is that your body might be quietly recycling waste that should have left your system yesterday. Here's where it gets interesting. Because when waste stays inside your colon for more than 24 hours, the system stops pushing things out and starts pulling toxins back in. Your own bloodstream begins absorbing the very things your body already decided to throw away, which creates a cycle of sluggishness that has nothing to do with your age. This is a process you can actually interrupt starting tonight, and eating just 3 prunes at the right time every evening can begin reversing that cycle within a few days. It isn't a miracle cure or a quick fix, but rather a simple biological reset that helps your body work the way it was designed to. Let's walk through what is actually happening inside your colon when things slow down. Because once you understand the mechanics, that heavy feeling starts to make a lot more sense. Your colon has a very specific job: to move waste toward the exit while pulling out any remaining water your body needs to stay hydrated. This is a smart system when it works on time, but the problem starts when waste sits for too long and the colon keeps right on absorbing. At a certain point, the colon stops pulling just water and starts taking in bacterial byproducts and metabolic waste that should have been gone hours ago. Your liver has to scramble to filter this sudden overflow of toxins, and your immune system reads the whole situation as low-grade inflammation. You might feel the results of this struggle in places you would never think to connect to your gut, like the stiffness in your knees when you first get out of bed, or that strange brain fog that hits right after lunch. Many people are told that going to the bathroom every 2 days is perfectly normal once they pass 60, but that advice ignores how the chemistry inside your body changes by the hour. The longer waste stays in the colon, the harder it gets as water is pulled out, which creates more surface area for bad bacteria to grow and more opportunities for toxins to leak back into your blood. Your gut also has its own internal clock, where the muscular waves that push waste forward usually peak between 6 in the morning and 9 in the morning. Many seniors find that this morning peak starts to fade over time, so the system that used to run automatically now needs a specific reason to fire. This is exactly why the 7-Day Protocol is so effective, as it gives your colon a reason to move every single night to ensure you stay on schedule. If this is making sense to you so far, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the specific steps we are about to cover. What exactly makes prunes different from every other fiber source sitting in your pantry right now? The answer isn't the fiber itself, but rather a natural sugar inside the fruit called sorbitol that does something no laxative on the market actually does. Sorbitol acts like a water magnet inside your colon, pulling moisture into waste that is already hardened and stayed there. Instead of forcing your intestinal muscles to contract harder like chemical laxatives do, this natural sugar softens everything from the inside out. When you eat prunes about 30 minutes before bed, that sorbitol reaches your colon right as the overnight motility cycle begins. That's the slow muscular wave that moves waste toward the exit while you sleep. So you aren't fighting your biology, but working with the timing your body already uses. So the first couple of days feel different right away. Days 1 and 2 are what I call the softening phase. The sorbitol reaches the older, compacted waste that has been sitting in the lower colon and starts pulling water into it. Most people notice the difference on the second morning because the movement happens without effort, or the cramping that comes from stimulant laxatives. You won't have that incomplete feeling where you know something is still in there. And for the first time in a long time, the colon gets to finish the job it started. By day 3, something else kicks in. The soluble fiber from the prunes, which is a type called pectin, starts working along the intestinal walls themselves. Laxatives usually work by stimulating muscle contractions to speed things up, but they don't touch what is clinging to the walls. Pectin moves differently, binding to residue along the intestinal lining and carrying it out with the stool. Older, hardened material that has been partially attached to the gut wall for weeks starts clearing out, which is why many people report an unexpected side effect around day 4. You might feel a noticeable lift in energy that doesn't come from caffeine or a supplement, but from the body no longer spending resources managing what was stuck there. When the inflammatory load drops, the energy that was going toward damage control goes somewhere more useful. By the back half of the week, days 5 through 7, the real long-term shift starts to take hold. Prunes contain a class of antioxidant compounds called polyphenols. These aren't just anti-inflammatory in the general sense. They are specifically prebiotic, which means they feed the beneficial bacteria living in your gut. Think of your gut microbiome as a workforce that has been depleted after years of low-fiber, high-processed food, or antibiotic use. The bacteria responsible for producing serotonin and regulating bowel rhythm need raw material to rebuild, and polyphenols provide exactly what they need. By day 7, the colon isn't just emptier, it has been repopulated with the bacteria that tell it when and how to move. The morning rhythm that most seniors lose gradually after 60 starts coming back, because the internal workforce is functioning again. That's the reset. It isn't just about the colon emptying once, it's about the gut learning to run its own schedule without a pill deciding for it. Here's the part nobody talks about. When your body stops recycling inflammatory compounds through a sluggish colon, the energy that was quietly going toward managing that inflammation gets redirected. It goes toward your muscles, your joints, and the part of your brain responsible for concentration and mood. The aching in your knees that you blamed on the weather, or the afternoon crash that made you cancel plans, might not always come from age. Sometimes those feelings come from a gut that has been behind schedule for months. Staying regular after 60 isn't just about comfort, it's about staying in control of your own body and everything that depends on it. It touches your home, your schedule, even your ability to walk to the car without thinking about it. Digestive health and physical independence are connected in ways that most people only understand after one of them starts failing. The protocol itself is simple. You take 3 prunes 30 minutes before bed with a full glass of water every night for 7 days. The water matters because it gives the sorbitol the raw material it needs to do its job. Without enough fluid, even the best fiber source cannot pull moisture into the colon effectively. One thing worth saying clearly is that if you are managing kidney disease or taking medication that affects potassium levels, you should talk to your doctor before starting this. Prunes contain potassium, and while that is a benefit for most healthy seniors, it is not a conversation to skip if your kidneys are already working harder than normal. This protocol works because it follows the body's own timing and feeds what the colon actually needs. That's not a miracle, it's just biology. And a body that processes waste the way it's supposed to is a body that keeps moving the way you want it to. So when waste stays inside your body for more than 24 hours, it doesn't just sit there doing nothing. It gets reabsorbed into your system, which drives up inflammation and quietly drains the energy and mobility you need to stay independent. This 7-day protocol works because it removes the actual source of the problem instead of just covering up a symptom. And it does this by working with the natural biology your body already uses every day. A gut that runs on its own schedule gives you a body that keeps going on your own terms. That kind of freedom is worth protecting. If you happen to be taking medication or managing kidney disease, make sure you talk this over with your doctor before you get started. And if you want to keep learning how your gut health connects to your energy and your long-term independence, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep sharing the kind of science that actually makes a difference. See you next time.